Is this on? Can you hear me fine? Okay, cool. So what is the biggest misconception about NFTs?
I think the biggest misconception about NFTs is that they can only be PFPs or they can only be photos. You can use an NFT to get a pass to an event. You can use an NFT as a means for traveling, as a means for a lot of different things. So I think the utility behind the NFT is really what's missed.
Like way too short.
Okay.
I'm fine, you're fine.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Married. Thank you.
Misconception about NFTs.
That it is a picture that represents a contract that gives you access to something. On all NFT projects are just startups getting crowdfunding and like Kickstarter. You are buying into a startup and you're a holder.
I'm just trying to make it extra awkward at the beginning.
I would say the biggest misconceptions are they're money grabs or scams.
People don't understand the future of it. Right now, everyone thinks of it as collectibles, and in reality, they're a smart contract that's going to kind of change the way that we do business. And so people right now are seeing it as a land grab, a money grab, but it's really going to be the way commerce is done in the future.
How do you learn about NFTs?
Shout out Gary Vee. Twitter Spaces. Go to Twitter Spaces, type in NFT, and just start listening to people. See what's going on, see what's not going on. Twitter Spaces is hands down the best.
Twitter, only Twitter. It sounds crazy because people are like, what do you mean? Twitter is your best friend in terms of learning about NFT projects, really doing your research on who are the founders behind the project, who else is interested in the project. Does it seem like it's a little bit too good to be true, or are these really genuine people who are behind the project? So that would be my best.
There's a few other people that I follow who also do some NFT things, like Tom Bilyeu.
Where do you go to learn about NFTs?
That's a hard question. I don't think there's an actual place that I go. There's some people that I follow and podcasts that I listen to, but it's definitely a struggle to, I would say, find like valuable information. So yeah, I would say I follow some people on Twitter.
Who do you follow that you actually like listening to about NFTs?
There's this one person that I follow who has a podcast. It's called like the Boonified Experience. That's the name of the podcast, and basically he interviews people. And that's kind of where I get most of my, I would say, knowledge, because then they talk about where they get information. It's like a spiderweb effect of information. So that'd be like the main place that I get it, and then just going through threads on Twitters.
I don't think there are honestly consistent accounts that give good alpha advice, because if you're taking it from the same account every time, then you're going to end up in the same projects, right? By like the same people. I think though finding some really good accounts in terms of like beyond just the NFT space, but like a really good account that I like for like the DeFi crypto Web3 space is Bankless. I think they do a really, really good job of being very upfront and honest, breaking down really complex topics into very consumable content.
And it's very NFT centric. They're loving the NFTs over there. They're just like, what? You can't right click save? I thought you could. Like, how do we get an NFT?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I do Twitter Spaces, so
No, you don't. Prove it.